best decision I've made in my life so far is coming to Japan. 皆さんどうもマットキャブです。今回はいつもと違くて英語で話します。Today is going to be a little bit different than usual, and I just want to talk a little bit about my experience in Japan. I realized this week that I'm coming around my 17th year anniversary from first stepping foot on Japan. Ooh, I remember it like yesterday. It was humid and hot as hell coming off the plane. I'm from San Francisco, California, and it never gets humid, so it was my first time experiencing that type of heat. But anyway, I get this question a lot. Matt, how did you first come to Japan? Why did you come to Japan? And how did you get to where you are at today? And I get this question from both Japanese people and foreigners alike. But today I want to focus more so and speak to those viewers out there that may be interested in coming to Japan from overseas. And hopefully this will provide a little bit of value and insight to you. So if you don't follow my channel, you don't know who I am, my name is Matt Cab, and I am a music producer here in Tokyo, Japan. But it wasn't always that way. A little background on myself. I am Filipino-American, born and raised in San Francisco, California, Bay Area. And I lived there until I was about 20 years old. And I decided to take a leap of faith at age 20. Have never left the country before, and decided to pack up all my bags and come to Japan. I didn't know one person in Tokyo, but growing up I did have a big interest in Japanese culture. It sounds a little bit stereotypical, but of course I grew up loving anime, and I was just so fascinated, and these worlds that were created in these animes were just so out there and so creative, and I guess I just felt a magnetic attraction toward the country or the culture that produced such amazing art. And I decided to, like I said, pack my bags and come to Japan. And I was first a university student, 留学生, and I had the opportunity to study at Sophia University my first year here in Japan, and it was an amazing experience. As a 20-year-old, showing my age a little bit here, but as a 20-year-old, it was a completely different world, and nothing I had ever experienced before. There was just so much, stimulation, be it from the environment, just seeing different signs, the language. I had studied Japanese in high school, so I had a little bit basic knowledge, but man, I'm gonna tell you, when I landed, I thought I could speak Japanese, but I could not speak Japanese. It was tough. There was a language barrier and just, small cultural things, but I loved it. Like, it was kind of like being a kid in a candy store, and I don't mean to say that in a disrespectful way, but I'm sure those of you who have traveled overseas, or especially to Japan, some of you can relate with that feeling as well. But like I said, I was a student at first. I made a lot of great friends at Sophia University, and I had to go back home. I had to go back to San Francisco, and I graduated from my home university in San Francisco. But a part of me just, I didn't feel like I was finished with Japan. So about a year later, I decided to come to Japan. And at that time, I was dabbling with music already, and pursuing a music career in America. But I thought, hey, why not? Why not follow my dream in a completely unique, different way? And in this brand new country, what an adventure, right? So that's how it started. And from there, like, believe it or not, it didn't take long until a miracle happened, and I was contacted by a company, the same company I work with now to this day, and they offered me a music contract, a deal as a singer in Japan, because they had seen some of my previous YouTube videos singing. So man, at first I did not believe it was real, had to check it out, but it was a real deal. And that's how the music chapter started for me in Japan, as an artist, as a singer and songwriter, mainly R&B music. And looking back from today, it feels kind of like a dream, just because like I said, I'm a music producer now. I'm not out in the spotlight in the front as I used to be, but those days were crazy. I mean, there was a lot of stimulation. I flew all over Japan performing, singing for audiences, some small, some big, some arenas, 60,000 people at one point. I would never have imagined. I still, to this day, don't believe how I had the guts to just get up there. It almost feels like I had to fit into the role of a different person to do that. But, those experiences I can get in depth in on another video, because that's just a whole nother video on its own. But that path led me to where I am today as a music producer, and I think it was really meant to be. At first, I felt a little bit like, I was so close to making it big as an artist, and there was a time where I felt a little lost, didn't know how to transition, but naturally I just started getting back to what I love, and that really is just being creative, working with others, collaborating, and making music. So I started doing that more, and man, it was really rewarding for me. Started out small, but it's still to this day, I take a look at my credits. I usually don't really celebrate my wins as much as I should, but man, looking at the names and the amount of people that I've worked with and some of the songs that I've accomplished, it still seems kind of like a dream and very surreal to me. But I say all this to say that coming to Japan took a lot of courage, but it was the best decision that I ever made in my life. Like I said, I was born and raised in San Francisco Bay Area, and that's all I knew for 20 years. I come from a big family. I got my dad has 10 brothers and sisters, and they all have a ton of kids. So you can imagine the family parties. It was nuts. But not to say that there's anything negative about it, but I kind of felt like my life would have been already decided if I had just stayed in San Francisco and the Bay Area. But no disrespect to my family and friends, because I love them so much, and they definitely made me, shaped me to who I am today, and they're everything to me. And this is for another video, but I've been here for 17 years, so that's kind of what I've been struggling with these days in my life. I've started a family here in Tokyo. I'm married, beautiful wife and 2 kids, but I do miss home, and I do miss the people back home. But you have to make sacrifices in life, and that becomes your journey and your struggle. And for me, that sacrifice paid off, just because I was able to come over here to Tokyo and kind of learn, discover who I am. It sounds a little bit corny, but the journey of discovering yourself and finding out who you are, I feel like too little of us really take that jump and that step, that risk to find out who you are. And I will say I'm proud of myself for doing that, and I still have a long way to go. I still have a lot to accomplish here in Japan and elsewhere, and that's the journey that's exciting for me right now. But for those of you watching who still managed to get through this just talking video. I hope you find value in that, because you might be thinking, you might be at a point in your life where you're wondering what to do. Do I take that leap of faith? And so, the most corny thing ever, but follow your heart. Even if, no matter where you end up, if you follow your heart, if that's what your decision was based on, then so be it. And I think it'll lead you to somewhere great. And I encourage you to do so. Thanks for watching, guys. This is totally different content than what I usually do. You know, it's not my typical thing, but it's something that I wanted to talk about and something that's been on my mind for a while. If you have any questions about Japan, or you want me to talk about something more specific, in particular what my experience is like here, I might be able to offer you a unique perspective, because I feel like I've had a pretty unique life and unique perspective. I'm grateful for that experience here in Japan. So feel free to comment, ask some questions. Maybe next time I can do a Q&A, or I will hopefully do this type of video again. So give me some ideas for some content, and thank you guys for watching. Love, peace, do you.